Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Good evening. Good evening, family. How is everybody doing? I'm still running in here. You guys. Woo! How's everybody? Nice to see everybody in the building. You guys, thank you guys for coming in here this evening. We're going to have a special guest come on. I know everybody's waiting on her. This is going to be Marv's wife. Marv's wife, okay? And yes, he done got married, and people are getting mad. So we're gonna be trying to drop some nuggets today. I hope this is not gonna be as long. So I hope some of your questions will be asked and answered. Let me get them questions out because I didn't move them. Okay, here we go. Oh, let me see here. Oh, here it is. There it is, right there. I'm ready. So, you guys, if you have any questions, you can, I hope you had, she says, we are a little confused because she was married to his brother. And first, who is that saying? Nikki Bo Beep Boppy or whatever. She says, we are a little, let me put this up here because I want to make sure. Here we go. Hold on. How you doing? This is SP.
Hey, SP, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. We've got questions already coming in the building. Let me read this real quick. So Nikki Babapi says, we are a little confused because she was married to his brother first and Marv was messing with her sister. I'm not mad, just confused, laughing out loud. Okay, Nikki, we're going to give her a chance to answer some of these questions, what you're confused about or whatever. But first of all, let me introduce, this is Marv's wife. I know you guys been doing that Facebook investigation. Her name is Tommy, and she is married to Marv. They've been married for about maybe just little less than a month. How we gonna start this? What's you want to introduce or how you and Marv? I got some questions, or do you want me to just go ahead and start with some of the questions that I got because they've already known who you are now.
Okay, yes, SP. There needs to be something cleared up. First of all, my name, Tommy, comes from people that I work with. And the people that I work with a mixed group of people. And the Caucasian people came up with a name, Tommy, for me, and I've had that name for about 18 years now. And my government name is Tamiko Torres. So we can clear that up. And Sawyer is a former marriage name that I had.
Okay.
And going back to Marvin's brother, Marvin has a brother, one brother that his mother gave birth to, and I have no relationship with him. His brother's name is Scotty, with a Scott. So, no, I've never been married to Marvin's brother.
Okay.
I have been married to a person, but not Marvin's brother. And I was divorced back in July of 2017, which I said I was sending the receipt for.
Okay. So is Scotty married?
Scotty is not married, no. And he was married, Marvin, was Scotty ever married before? When was that? A very long time ago. Scotty was in the military, but it was a very long time ago, and I think the lady was Asian or another descent, but she was never like Latino or African American, from what I know.
Oh, okay. So that he only has one brother, and you wasn't married to him. So
No.
why is everybody, because it blew up, why is everybody saying she's married, she was married to Marv's brother, and they got a divorce 1 year, and now she's married to Marv? Why is people saying that? Do you know why people are saying that?
Absolutely, SB. And like I said, prior, conversating with you when I received the mugshot, there was one young lady that Marvin was involved with. Her name was Dolly. She was a Puerto Rican lady. She looked kind of old, which I'm not sure of her age. I know she has like 3 or 4 children. But
And her name is Dolly?
She goes by many different names.
Okay.
She's a home health aide. I'm not sure of all of her names because there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But she was inquiring about me with Marvin because every time Marvin spoke with her, I was privy to that phone call every time. And at one time, they had an intimate relationship. And when I did meet her over the telephone, that's how I met her, through Marvin over the telephone. She asked me who I was, and at that time, I don't think I was privy for me to say my relationship with Marvin, because I just didn't think it was any of her business. So the only person that I have told that story to, that was married to Marvin's brother for 5 years, was her. So all the fake profiles and all the boosting up that she's given Cody and Amber and sending her messages and all these other fake profiles she don't understand, and screaming out Tommy Torres. Throughout this situation, I always knew it was her, because when you deliver a message to one person and that message comes back, you know exactly where it came from. So I do know that she had been the one to put that out there, because I did say that directly to her.
So you told her she was. So what you're saying is, she asked Marv, "Who is this woman? Why is this woman whatever?" And so it was. Did you?
She wanted to know why was every time Marvin speaking to her on the phone, why was I always on the phone?
Why was you always on the phone?
Their conversation.
Yeah. So it was like, that's my brother's wife. So she would whatever.
Right.
Wouldn't be all angry because the woman's around.
No, you mean on my behalf or her behalf?
On her behalf, like some women be like, why she asked the question is because you are a woman and that's her man, or was they married?
No, she wanted Marvin to marry her because we were on the phone one time, and she said to Marvin, Marvin, you said you were going to marry me, right? And Marvin said, no, I never told you that. And she said, well, babe, aren't we going to even live together? And he basically brushed it off in a way. I know at one time Marvin was dating at her house. I mean, they had an intimate relationship at one time. But I know that Marvin was on and off at her house with King. That I do know for sure. because she used to babysit King, and her daughter used to babysit King very frequently. So I wanted to clear that up as well. Tiana Parks is not the only babysitter for King Hill.
Okay.
And she shared a special love for King because he was a lovable kid. And a lot of questions arose because I've been getting messages on my Facebook Messenger. People had questions for me that I don't even know, but just to address some of their questions as well, because they said they would be on this live, and I told them I would gladly clear the air in regards to that. But as far as me babysitting King, first of all, my job does not permit me to be babysitting, number one, a child that Marvin could not show me any documented proof that was his biological child, because King Hill was the name that Marvin told me. And then when I saw a medical ID card, which I gave the receipt for, it had Miranda as another name.
Mm-hmm.
Did you receive that?
Yes.
Medical ID card?
Yes.
So I was unsure of the situation with this child, and I told Marvin I did not feel comfortable with, him not knowing if this kid was actually his or not. And he said that he was going to do a DNA. He needed Amber to cooperate. He was going to speak with her about it because their communication was very poor. And the communication was basically text messages, which I'm not a fond of. I feel like you need to call that person, not text that person. Because something as serious as knowing if you're the father or not, that to me is very serious. Because of a situation that I had in my family. My cousin thought one guy was the father. The baby was in the fire. They needed to have a bone marrow done. They needed the biological father there. The guy who thought he was the father was there, and the baby ended up dying because she couldn't have a bone marrow.
Right.
So stuff like that I take very seriously about knowing, in case anything happens, you need to know who's the father.
Okay. Okay. I guess somebody's trying to call in now, but can I ask you? So, do you have kids?
Yes, I do. I have two children. I have a child, a daughter that's grown 26 years old, who is Amber's age. She's currently in medical school in New York City, and I have a 16-year-old that is a junior in high school.
Okay. Let me start right at the beginning, because. So how long?
Actually, something I wanted to address so we don't get a little sidetracked.
Okay.
The mugshot photo that you sent me. Now you can answer this question: did I not send you the receipt that situation was dismissed?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so I wanted to clear that up of being a criminal and so on and so forth, because for a fact, Denver will be with her dad, and I am her dad's wife. And, having that put out there, it didn't really bother me too much, but I wanted to clear the air because people that left me messages on my Facebook Messenger had questions about that mugshot photo. That mugshot photo was from a domestic dispute, which I was lied on, and when it went to court, May 14th, I was arrested April 23rd, 2020. I was suspended from my job for 30 days due to that situation, due to the nature of my job. And I was found not guilty, and all charges were dismissed on May 14th, 2020, which I sent you the receipt for. So I wanted to clear that up. People putting up my picture as an ex-criminal, which I understand. Things get misinterpreted, but there's a disclaimer on that website that if you harass, intimidate, or try to use that photograph to do any harm verbally to anyone, you will be prosecuted. And I have decided right now I'm in Miami. And I will be returning back to the state of New Jersey where I do live um, to file a criminal complaint against Cody and Amber Hill in regards to the picture that was posted, the mugshot, which I have a legal right to do so. I have contacted my superior boss. I have contacted the police department where I live. I've also contacted the Philadelphia Police Department, and I was advised that due to the nature of the cases that I work on, and for them to harass and intimidate me with that photograph on social media, it is against the law what they did. So I wanted to make that very clear because I'm one person that will never, ever, go behind somebody's back and say, I'm going to be sneaky and do this. I'm putting it out on Front Street that I will be filing criminal harassment charges because what they did was malicious. And secondly, Denver will be in my care at some point in time. And all I would like to do, what I had wanted to do, is co-parent with Amber because I have a daughter her age. So I would figure, let this young lady get to know me, get to see where I live, get to spend time with her child, and get to build a relationship with her daughter because I'm not Denver's mother. Nor am I trying to be her mother. But being a good caretaker, I would be a great caretaker for Denver. And also, I was advised from the police department by me filing these charges, the grandmother may lose the right to have Denver in her care. So when people start being malicious and start doing things and they don't know who they're doing it to, it's very detrimental to others who could get hurt in this process. And this is never about me, Marvin, Amber, Cody, Kimberly, Tasha. It's about Denver and King Hill. So I wanted to make that very clear.
Okay. SP, ask why Mary Marv. Wow. Okay. I want to, because I want to go. I've got something in order here, Al. I want to ask you some questions, and I want to get to these tougher questions later because people are jumping all over the place, the beginning, the end, the beginning, the end. So, how long have you known Marv?
I have known Marvin for a few years, and Marvin and I, for those few years, we stayed in contact every single day. And we spoke on the phone due to my work schedule. I could see him every day, but we spoke every single day for hours at a time.
Okay. And somebody want to know, let me see how long have you guys been married? When did you guys get married?
We got married October 27th, 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Why did you marry Marv?
Actually, I didn't want to marry Marv. I didn't want to marry anybody. Marvin wanted to marry me. And he's sitting right here, you can tell yourself. After getting a divorce, I just felt like I needed some time to really find me and get to know me, because it was always about my marriage and my children. And I just didn't feel like that's where I needed to be. But at that particular time, he was ready for something. I was looking like, when you're married to somebody for a long time, whoever thinks about divorce? So Marvin, he got married many years ago, like when his son, I think, is like 21 or something like that. He stayed married for 22 days down in the Norman. So he's always wanted to be married. So we had that marriage conversation. And that's what he wanted. And I decided, you know what? I love you too. So let's take it to the next level.
Okay. So, with everything going on, someone has said in a previous live, with everything going on in Marv's life, because there's women and there's babies missing, and are you like with all that going on? Well, missing or the other. I'm talking about King Hill. I mean,
Okay.
they haven't found his body, or him, so he's he's still missing some kind of way. Um, I mean, do you think that was a good idea to marry Marv?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay.
Because, SC, let me answer this question for clarity. I commend Marvin for taking care of a baby that he did not know was his. And to still stick around after being pulled out and sent, grandmother saying that, King Hill is half Puerto Rican and African American, and Marvin is not the father, and him still sticking around saying, I could possibly be his father. So I want to still stick in there. And me saying, I'll stand by your side on it.
Okay.
So, I commend him for wanting to even stick around. Some guys would have been like, you're saying I'm not the father? I mean, where's the other guy who's supposed to be the father? Haven't seen him.
So,
That was named the father. I haven't seen him. I haven't heard from him either.
okay. Right. So, have your kids met Marvin?
Yes, they have.
Okay. Okay.
And they love him.
Okay. Have your ex, your baby's daddy, your ex-husband, have he met Marv?
My ex-husband has met Marvin, and because my ex-husband is the type of guy where, I have female children, so his thing is, I want anyone around my daughter, unless I know who they are. He met Marvin, and he said, Marvin is a real decent guy, despite what he's heard about, because people started sending him stuff about Amber's age, and, and my daughter is 16. My little one is 16. So my ex-husband had a lot of questions for Marvin. And, my ex-husband, he's a smart guy. And he said, well, he didn't say you raped her. It was consensual. And in Pennsylvania, the law states 16 consensual sex. It happened. This is what it is. She lied about her age. Whatever the case may be, whatever the story is, he said he actually liked Marvin, and he doesn't have a problem with Marvin being around his daughter at all.
Okay.
And said Marvin was a nice guy. And I was surprised because my ex-husband's a little, strict when it comes to his daughter. He doesn't want his kid around, different men, which I clearly get because a lot of things can go left. So he met him, they spoke, and he said he has a lot of respect for him.
Okay. Did you meet King? Somebody asked that
Yes,
in the chat.
Yes,
I couldn't.
Yes, I did.
Oh, there it is. So
Yes,
you.
I have met King. I've spent time with King as well.
Okay. So how long you been in King's life?
Since 2018.
Since 2018.
Yes, he was a baby in diapers still.
Okay.
He was about 8 months. All right. He wasn't quite a year after his first birthday yet. He wasn't even walking yet. It was in 2018. Probably, it was summertime, right before King turned 1.
Okay. Okay. Have you met Amber? Amber? I don't know. I would say Amber. Have you met Amber before this situation?
Never met Amber. Never.
You never met Amber?
No. I did meet a young lady who I thought was Amber. This was at the gym. And then later to find out that it was not Amber, it was another young lady that was babysitting King while Marvin was working, training client.
Okay.
Because the young lady resembled King. And I said, oh, okay, I thought that was Amber. But that was not Amber.
Marie wants to know, is you involved in Marv's other 7 children lives?
Not all 7 because they are grown, and the younger one I am involved as, I would say they look up to me for guidance. There's a son recently who left the military who I have a very close-knit relationship with. We have a bond. And his other children, has another daughter that is 15, and she turns 16. But she turns 15. 15, these kids grow so fast, 15, 16. That we don't have a tight bond, but I do know she is.
Okay. Have you met Denver?
Yes, I have met Denver.
Okay.
And even prior to this, I've met Denver and spent time with Denver while she was in the care of Marvin. And
you said care. You said care. Are you talking about, was it a visit or was she living with Marv?
She was staying with Marvin.
Okay.
She was staying with Marvin, and because I always, being in Denver, I was always, and King, I would always try to give them some cookies or candy, and Marvin, like, my children don't eat that stuff. So I spent time with them, and then Denver has a slight impairment, and when I first met Denver, I told Denver and I had a conversation, and I told Marv, I said, I thought you said you had a speech impairment. And he said, no, she talks if you want to, because I had cookies, and she really wanted one, and I said, your dad said no, so I have interacted with Denver and spent time with Denver.
Okay, so somebody's in the chat and I don't know why this is very important, but I'm trying to ask questions that's in the chat and on this paper. But they say thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down. You lied about your age. How do you want to? I don't know if that's important, but asking a question. I know as a woman, I don't tell people my age. I just don't do it. You can think what you want.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem telling anybody my situation, my age, because this is a situation that I have to handle with my job as well.
Okay.
Due to receiving my pension. I was born in the Dominican Republic, and my birth certificate says 1976, but the 6, it's a very old birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And the 6 was rubbed out to a 1.
Okay.
So all my identification has 1971 on it, and I'll send you the receipt for that as well, because I have a court order to change it as per the court in the state of New Jersey, and I just hadn't found the time to do so due to the pandemic. And then my father, who lives currently in the Dominican Republic, had to sign some forms for the court in regards to attesting to my date of birth. So I just haven't had the time to do so. But I will send you a receipt of that court order, SC, so you can have that as government proof. So that will shut that down as well.
Okay. I was looking. I've got 3 monitors going here. Brown Sugar is asking, ask her, do she have a picture of the woman or her name from the gym who Marv was dating?
No, I do not. Only pictures that I've ever seen according to Marvin, he never dated her. It was more of okay, I need to get my rocks off, you're available type of thing. So that was the situation, and she volunteered to, I need help as a single parent with your son. Let me help you. And like I said, I was privy to a lot of their conversations. So it was never a relationship where, okay, he's saying this is my girlfriend, introducing her as this is my girlfriend. It was more of I call it a smash and grab.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it wasn't a girlfriend. She was an intimate partner when he needed to be released.
Okay. Yes, Scotty, that's right.
I hate to say it like that, SB, but listen, if I'm going to tell you the truth, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's just what it is.
It's okay. It's okay. Scotty, yes, that's what she said. She said she never met Amber before this incident. She never met Amber. Do you love King?
Oh, no. Hold on, SB. Marvin is saying I need to clear something up here about, just a backtrack a quick second. The young lady that I saw in the gym, Marvin has never been intimate with Tiana at all. So I don't, people are shooting questions over or making statements in regards to that. That has never happened. And as far as the person that I thought was Amber, was another lady that worked out in the gym that was babysitting King in the gym when Marvin had his personal clients to train, which he never had an intimate relationship with that particular person either. She was actually just helping Marv because King was running all around the place and he could have gotten hurt. So I need to make that clear. No, it wasn't Tiana at the time when I thought that was Amber, because I thought that was the baby's mother with her baby in the gym. But come to find out, it was a workout client that was babysitting while Marvin trained other people. So I need to clear the air on that because, people, I don't want anything to be misinterpreted because I want to add clarity in every question.
Right. Okay. Do you love King?
Yes, that little boy he was phenomenal. He was smart to be his age. He was an extraordinarily little boy. Like he's been here before.
Have you ever bought King anything?
No, I never bought King anything. No. The only thing that I was going to buy King, and that was on June 25th, when I told Marvin I wanted to see him, and he was in the care at that time of Tiana Park, and Marvin got her on the phone, and King mentioned a blue bike, and Tiana stated, I'm going to make a long story short, she stated that he was riding another little kid's bike at the park, and when he mentioned he wanted the blue bike, I told Marv, I said, let's go get the blue bike. I said, find out which bike it is, and let's go get it. And he said, well, I think we can get it from Walmart. And then Tiana had somewhere to go, and every excuse, we never got to go get the bike. And Marv said, well, listen, I'll cash after you the money, so then you can just go get the bike. And that's how that was the only thing I was going to buy King, the bike, at that particular time.
Okay. Can you tell us, let's talk about Microwave Frank a little bit. Okay, Microwave Frank. How did you get involved with speaking with Microwave Frank, and what was you guys' first initial conversation?
My first initial conversation with Microwave Frank was calling him to ask him to turn over the laptop, and I explained to him who I was, an investigator, and I told him that I would need that laptop and we could bring it down to the 24th district, which I made arrangements for him to bring it there. And he said, no, I don't want to bring it there. I feel more comfortable with dropping it off to Marvin. So I contacted Marvin, and I said, Marvin, did Microwave Frank contact you? Because he said, now this is after the conversation that I was privy to with Microwave Frank bringing to the attention of Marvin about the laptop. And at this point, I'm like, okay, well, where's the laptop? It's going to connect with you to give it to you. This is something that could be important in King Hill case. We don't want to tamper with it. I don't want you to go through it. It needs to go directly to homicide. And my conversation with him was, if you don't want to give it to Marvin, I'll make arrangements. You can drop it up in the 24th district. I will meet you there with the detective so they can go through this laptop and find out if there's anything pertinent in regards to where King could be. Because at this point, nobody has been recovered as of yet. And that was the conversation I had with him, the first initial conversation. I reached out to Marvin. Marvin said, well, I just got a text message from Microwave Frank stating that he was out of town, and as soon as he got back in town, he would drop the laptop off to me. That was the first initial conversation and the response. And I said, okay, fine. I waited 3 days later and asked Marvin again, did he ever connect with Microwave Frank? And he said, no, he never reached back out to me. And then I reached out to Microwave Frank's friend, again, stating who I was and how important this laptop was, because there could be some important information in regards to King Hill. And the gentleman said to me that I spoke to, I don't remember his name. He said that, because that's the contact number that I had to get to Microwave Frank at that time. And Microwave Frank's friend said to me, well, Microwave Frank, told me about the situation, and he said that he's afraid he's being accused of something he didn't do. I said, nobody's accusing him of anything. We just want to get the laptop. And I said, listen, I gave him a telephone number to contact Detective Benson at Homicide, who is currently on the King Hill case, to get that laptop to him.
Okay.
So if anybody needs the correct spelling, it's Benson, Detective Benson, 215-686-3334. So Detective Benson is very well aware that this laptop should have been delivered to him.
Okay.
So there's no story that I have to make up about that laptop.
Nicoletta is asking, what's on that laptop and what is its importance?
I am not sure, but Microwave Frank made it an important when he had the initial conversation with Marvin, stating, I think you need to check this laptop of mine that I let Yana borrow, because right before King went missing, she all of a sudden gave it back to me. So that's why that laptop became an interest. He said it, not Marvin. He volunteered the laptop.
Okay.
And also today, Microwave Frank, what people don't understand, and SP, I sent you the receipt on this as well. I'm not sure if you received it, but I sent you the receipt. I learned new terminology talking to USB. It's called having receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Microwave Frank sent Marvin threatening messages from a phone number, which I sent you as well, which will also, as soon as we get back to Philadelphia, he will be dealt with accordingly from the Detective Bureau in Philadelphia, because you cannot threaten a government witness in the King Hill case. You can't threaten bodily harm to a government witness. I'm not sure if he knows what the law states, but he made some very harsh comments about his intentions with Marvin. And this is still an open investigation, and you can and will be charged.
Okay, I haven't seen those receipts.
You haven't seen that receipt, SP?
Nope.
Okay.
Of that, you and Microwave Frank.
You didn't get a text message from the 267. It came up as a header with a 267 number.
I have to go back. I have to go back and look.
Okay, well, that's the next question.
I'll go back.
To you.
Yeah, I'll go back and look. any receipts that we can bring, I will work on it tomorrow. So if you do have the receipts, then I'll blot out whatever I need to blot out, but I'll put it up in a small clip if anybody want to see those receipts. So do you know what's on that laptop, or is there something that you guys are looking for?
Well, looking for potentially any information because right now human trafficking is so big and there's no bodies that has been recovered for King Hill. If there's something on there, maybe communication with someone she had, that would be of significance to get that laptop and to extract any IP addresses that she may have been communicating with for us to track. I'm not going to say for us, but I'm going to say for Philadelphia to track down and locate these people that she was communicating with. Because at that time, King was still around. And Microwave Frank made it a point that she had that laptop and he felt as though it was important for Marvin to see what was in there because he said she set a passcode that he couldn't even get into it. So once that was said, I said, well, if he can't even get into it, then we need someone to go in and legally hack it and find out what information is in there that could be possibly, leading us in the right direction in regards to King Hill. Was it a way of traffic? Which way did she go with them? Did she take a train? Did she take a bus? Did someone meet her with a car? That's the importance of having that laptop. Any communications that she may have had right before the disappearance of King.
Somebody asked, I think it was Universal LLC, had asked, where was your whereabouts on July the 7th, King disappearance?
July the 7th, I was at home. I had a repeat neck surgery June 15th, and I was at home during that time.
Oh, you was at home on the 7th. Where was you on the 8th?
On the 8th, I was during the daytime when I got the call. I stopped. A friend of mine owns a cigar bar in Newark, New Jersey, and I got the phone call from Marvin stating that, would you believe, he called me frantic. Would you believe King never made it home? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And when he said that, I said, did you call the police? And he said, I did. He said, I'm at home waiting for them now. And I said, Marv, I'll be on my way. And I got to Philadelphia in 1 hour.
Okay.
And I actually, the day of July the 8th, I got to Marvin's house before the police did. They never showed up within that whole hour. And I drove Marvin to the 24th District to talk to the detectives and investigators. And before I got to Philadelphia, because Marvin did not know Tiana Park's government name. He knew her as Safira. That's the name he knew her as. Mm-hmm. And when I said, Marvin, you need to know a government name, I contacted my job, and this is all on police records, the detectives that I spoke to at the bureau on July the 8th. I had her, by the time I got to the precinct, I had her government name and all her person information, and they pulled up her photograph from her driver's license and asked Marvin, is this the young lady in question? Mm-hmm. So, I need to know who she was as well because, at that time, everybody's frantic. Everybody's like, when a 2-year-old is missing, you don't know what could be at stake. Was he killed? You don't know. So everybody at that moment was frantic. And at that particular time, I asked Marvin, where is the mother? Where's the mother? Because you can't handle this. I need the mother to be here. So Marvin said, well, let me call her. He called her. She was very frantic on the phone, crying, wanted to know where was King and this, that, and the other. And I said, you need to get her here. She needs to get here. And she told Marvin at that time, I can't get there. I have no way to get to the police department. So I told Marvin, I said, I have Uber. I will Uber her here. Give me her address. So he gave her the address. She gave him the address. And I put it in my Uber online, my Uber app, which SC I sent you the receipt for.
You did.
Did you receive that receipt? So I got her there in the Uber because I felt as though it was important for the mother to be here. The baby's missing. We need you here. Because over the phone wasn't cutting it for me. So I got her there.
Right, you did. You did. Let me see here. Oh, I can't show the receipt. Let me crop it because the address is in there. Let me crop it.
I mean, Amber's address is public.
Well, yeah, it's public, but
but if you want to scratch that out, you want to scratch out the address, but you can leave the address for the 24th district because that's public information, and you can leave the time on it. You can crop out her address, but for sure, that's the receipt. And the date is on here as well as the time. Because the detectives kept asking me, where is she? I just called the Uber, where is she? And I tracked, when Uber has the tracking, like, you can track and see how far they are. And I'm like, she could be pulling up any minute now, trying to get them to calm down because they were also wondering, okay, where's the mother? Why isn't the mother here? And they were wondering, okay, Marvin, you're saying you're the stepfather. Where is the mother? We don't want to even talk to you. We want to talk to the mother.
So, I'm not going to put her address out there. But
okay. But you can definitely put the 24th district address up there because that's public information.
Yeah, but it's down beneath her address because it's to pick up and then it's forward. So I would have to do some cutting to it, But anyway, that is a receipt. I have the original and I see what I see, but I will not put her address out there. And I know other people got it, but I'm not going to do that. But I got something to ask you here. So April, and I know we're going back, but I want to ask this question for a reason because I have it on the list here too. So she's asking, why would you call Microwave Frank instead of letting the police go get that laptop?
I didn't want to drag them into it initially because dealing with my own personal situation with being arrested and being falsely accused of something. I didn't want to drag him through the mud of being falsely accused because it's so easy. Even you can read about it in any paper. Law enforcement, investigators, detectives, police officers, they get accused and they get arrested for things that they do not do. And it's innocent until proven guilty. So I did not want to drag him, throw him under the bus, so to say, like, yeah, he could be a possible suspect. I think, not think, because in my job it has to be fact. It's called the rules of evidence. And if you're stating that you have something that could potentially lead to finding King Hill, I don't want them to jump, arrest him, because he never came forward initially. So I wanted to have that conversation with him directly so we could do it amicably where he could go down. I would set it up for him. I had the conversation with Detective Benson to get this laptop. I didn't want to have him arrested based off of probable cause of him having something to do with the King Hill disappearance. Because SP, my boy Frank told me a lot, and his story that he said on your live was not the truth. He said he never took the advancement of going to have any play dates or anything to do with Tiana in her home. That is not the story that he told me.
Mm-hmm.
My boy Frank told me that he lives on 33rd and Diamond. And I said, really, you do? He said, yes. He said, and I'm telling you, you need to have someone search that park. Because Tiana knew that park like the back of her hand. And I said, well, why do you say that? He said, because, and this is hearsay all day long. But if I had to take a lie detector test or raise the right hand on it, guarantee you I'll pass. He said, because she used to pick me up with my son Logan, and she would drive me from my house to 33rd and Diamond to the car, and we would end up at her house. So I decided, because I don't know that area that well, I told Marvin, let's hop in my car. I need to go from 33rd and Diamond to see where it takes me when we end up out of this park. And long and behold, it took me to the back of Tiana Park's house. So leaving Tiana's house, coming from, if you're on the park on the right hand side, if you make a right going into that park, you end up on 33rd and Diamond, even when you're leaving her house. So his story was not the truth. And I reached out to Detective Benson, and he can give him a call himself if he wants to clear his name. And I asked Detective Benson, is there any way we could bring him in and get that laptop? Because when you start telling stories that are not accurate, now you make yourself a suspect.
Okay. Okay.
And all those things that he said to Marv about Marvin on your podcast, that's not the conversation he had with Marvin. He was so concerned. He wanted, I feel bad for you. Oh, I didn't even know that was your son. He rode with Marvin and King and another young gentleman down to Atlantic City for a fight about a year ago. And then he stated on your podcast he didn't know Marvin had a kid that young. So I'm not sure why he has conflicting stories.
Okay.
Throughout all of this. Mm-hmm. But, I have, and I'm making it public information. And, the president, and SP, I don't know if you can check your phone at this point, but I did send the receipt from that text message that he sent Marvin today threatening him.
I did receive something. I haven't went over it yet.
Okay.
I did see something. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And it will be handled appropriately by the law, because threats at a time like this when a 2/3-year-old is missing is not going to fly. Because throughout all of this, Marvin has gave everybody a pass. Through all of the threats, through all the death threats, he has not filed charges against anybody. And now the ball stops here. So if anybody has a beef with Marvin about any charges, they need to come see me. And, all the stories about fake investigator, they will know exactly who I am once I get back to New Jersey and file the appropriate charges. Because I don't do threats and I don't do mugshots due to the nature of my job. It's posting my government name, and Amber and Cody will have to answer for it in the court of law. So I'm not going to retaliate and go on social media, because that's not something that I do. I'm not that person.
I'm reading it now. Yeah.
And he said that he didn't have anything to do with Tiana, but in his text message to Marvin, he says, this is the reason why she wanted me around. But he said you weren't interacting with her like that. I'm not understanding anything that he says. There's a flip-flop story, and that story needs to be investigated. Wow. Because if you were spending time, as he told me, you're spending time with Tiana and King Hill, and you kind of get on a podcast and say you were never there, I've asked the detectives because there is camera surveillance that was recovered from the neighbor's house. I've asked them to go through that footage, and I sent Microwave Frank's picture directly over. And there are cameras from that back door access as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's yet to see if he's telling the truth or if he's lying. Or is he lying about everything?
Okay, I've got two questions real quick because, and I know we're going back and forth, but with just as long as we're getting all the questions and the answers. Candy Rice says you said you never knew Amber. Is that correct? Before this situation?
I never knew Amber. The young lady that I thought was Amber was not Amber.
Okay. It was somebody else. Okay. Hold on. See, I got to get to the questions that people are, and I think I missed a question somewhere. Okay, here it. Oh my goodness, I'm missing them. Did Amber know that King wasn't in Marv's care, but in Tiana's care? That might be.
Amber know.
That might be a question for Marv. Did Amber
Did Amber know that Tiana was the babysitter for King? Basically.
Right. Did Amber know that King wasn't in Marv's care, but in Tiana's care? Did she know that King wasn't with Marv a lot of the time, but was with Tiana, and Tiana was the babysitter? Did Amber know this?
Did Amber know this? No.
She didn't know?
Okay, but I think Tiana watching what she watching. And if you go back to your podcast with Microwave Frank, he said that Tiana was dropping King off to see his mom. So there's another conflicting story.
Okay. Okay, I needed to ask that because somebody threw super chat in there. So we want to make sure that those do get asked. Somebody threw some in there and I think I missed it. And I'm sorry if I didn't see it. The person that's in there that put up that super chat, if you let me know what your question is. Let me see who it is. I can't even see who it is. Let me see here. Oh, all the moms for I'll live 15 minutes. Oh, thank you, Moms for Babes. Thank you for the super chat. She was just donating. So that question is asked.
Someone had a question as to is the laptop in police custody. No, it is not because Microwave Frank has not cooperated. But I have been working on finding a reason to help detectives gain access to this laptop. And conflicting stories that he has said on your podcast has been turned over to the Detective Bureau. So they are going through that footage of his statement. And his statement also, with me, was recorded. So we will see his difference in stories.
Okay. You guys hold that thought. We've got to give recognitions to our sponsor. So give me 1 minute.
Nora's Closet has a new name and a new website, you guys. It's called Nora's Authentic Designer Handbags, and this is the grand opening. It is open to the public, and we're going to take a look at it before anybody else do. Nora has the Jimmy Choo collection, handbags and shoes to match. Expensive, but worth the price. Shoulder Guess handbag and Louis Vuitton. Guys, she's the queen of handbags. Don't be fooled. And sexy is still in. High heels, sandals, flats, and pumps. Michael Kors, Chanel, every name brand you can think of. Go over to Nora's Authentic Designer Handbags and more and use your W4C and get your discount. Nora's link is down below.
Okay, we are back. Thank you, Nora's Authentic Designer Handbag. You guys, the link is in the chat, www.tracy.com/closet/Nora915. You guys, if you got a gift that you're giving, go over to Nora's Authentic Designer Handbag. You do not have to even catch COVID. She will ship it to you immediately, you guys. And let her know SP News Nugget sent you. You will get a discount. Okay, Tommy.
Yes, I'm here. SP, there was some questions, that someone had sent in regards to why would I retaliate against Amber and file charges against her and Cody in regards to them posting this mugshot. And someone had a problem with that. So if you could just check your text messages, and you'll see at the top of the screenshot that was taken, King Ace Ali Hill, that is Cody's page, and the other one, Amber the Most Hated, dating ex-criminal Marv's wife, came from Amber's page, and also Cody's page. That's why I have to file criminal harassment charges. I have to do that the nature of my job. That's just not, they can answer to the judge as to where they got it from and who gave it to them and move forward in that order. But I have to do a job, and that is to protect myself. And I investigate high-profile cases in the state of New Jersey, gang cases, RICO cases, and I cannot have people scandalizing my picture, my name on social media in that manner. So I have to do everything as the law says I have to do. And there was another question about me meeting Amber. And at this point in time, for the retaliation of what has been done to me, and I'm not sure if Amber is aware of this, but there was clothing that was bought for Denver. I bought the clothing for Denver because the clothing she had during Marv's visit was extremely too tight, too small. It looked like it was 2 years of like 7 years old clothing and not a 9-year-old clothing. She didn't have a winter coat. I told Marvin, let's go get her a coat because the worker said that they have to wait for their funding to come in to purchase her a coat. And I told Marvin, that's your daughter. You're not waiting on anybody's funding. You're going to go buy her a coat. So she has a winter coat, winter hat. He couldn't find the scarf and gloves to match the North Face stuff he bought. But that he will also give her on a visit. But as far as I'm concerned, to answer that person's question about me following through with charges, due to the nature of my job, I am left with no choice because I have to protect myself. I have a 16-year-old daughter out here that goes to school in other places that, my government name has been released by Amber and Cody. And whoever releases it to them, like I said, they can have their day in court to say who gave it to them, and then they can, be involved in the case as well. Because that is very malicious.
Okay. So I want to ask this question. Living the Life of KK asked this question. She's saying, why were you okay being with Marv the same time as Amber? Was you with Marv?
Say that again, MC?
Was you okay with being with Marv the same time as Amber?
From what I understand, SBC, I don't wanna. He wasn't dealing with Amber. They had a sexual encounter, and that's what it was.
Okay.
Like any other guy. And I need to clear the air on this because through my own knowledge of certain things about Amber, and I'm not gonna go to Pornhub because I don't want to scandalize her name. She was involved with many men during that time that I've questioned myself to get them to come forward because at the time when King was missing, I didn't know at that point who could be trusted. And it was a Hispanic gentleman that she lived in their home. So I was kind of curious if they could be possibly involved. And I found out that they were not involved. And this was an older gentleman around the same age as Marvin who she was dealing with. So,
Okay.
that kind of, at that point, it kind of showed me that Marvin was not the only older gentleman that she has had encounters with as a young girl. So, and like I said, I have a daughter her age, so I'm very cautious on how I say things because I wouldn't want anybody to retaliate and be malicious towards my kid. But when it comes to the truth, we're going to be truthful.
So, do you have a problem with Amber?
I don't even know Amber. The most I know about Amber is the malicious behavior that she's shown me, and I've been very relaxed throughout this whole, since she posted my photo and, putting up my name and so on. I don't have a problem with her, but she will definitely have to deal with the court of law. And that is on her because you have to think before you do things.
Do you have a vendetta against Amber?
No, I do not.
Okay.
And I believe as you look at your text messages, I just sent you the receipts on those screenshots that was posted with my government name and the mugshot and who they came from. And I was advised by the police department where I live, because I had to call them because I'm currently in Florida, and I explained the situation to them, and they said with that type of stuff being posted, it's considered harassment, and I explained to them that the grandmother does have temporary custody, and they said that could also interfere with the temporary custody because of the action of Amber and Cody for retaliating against me. So, and my whole thing has always been to keep Denver within her family ties because I've been on a lot of cases and I've seen these kids, go into the system and get shifted around. And I know Marvin wouldn't want that for his daughter. But I explained to Marvin if it meant now for Denver getting moved out of the grandmother's care because at this point I feel like my life would be in danger because of the malicious act that has been done.
Okay. I just received I want everybody to know I did receive something, but I'm not going to put, and I did get it. I want to check because the names are not adding up. And so I'm not going to throw it out there, you guys. That's the only reason why I'm not going to throw it out there right now, because the names are not adding up and I'm going to have to research it because once it's aired, you can't take it back. Once you ring that bell, you can't take it back. So that's the only reason why I'm not going to say anything right now, but I will address it and then we will speak on it tomorrow morning. Okay? Somebody sent me a receipt. So I want to check it out. When was the last time that you been home in the Dominican Republic? Because that's where you're from, right?
The last time I was there was in October of last year because my dad was very sick.
In October?
Yes, of 2019.
Of 2019. Okay. Do you take plane rides, private plane ride, jet rides, or do you go to the regular like everybody else and stand in line, or do you have a jet plane to go places, or do you just to go anywhere?
I have a security clearance that does not. I don't stand in the regular line, pat it down like the average person. I have security clearance. So I'm not sure if that's what
But
you're
you
talking
don't.
about, but
But
I did.
you don't take plane rides privately, like get on private jets and go to the, uh, you know, Dominican Republic, do you?
No, I did not.
Okay. There's something here. I'm not going to ask that question. That question was asked. Okay, someone is asking this question. When did you and Marv get engaged?
And see, I'm like this. I'm just going to keep it very real with you. Marvin and I have never been engaged.
Oh, okay.
We've been very close since 2018. Like I said, we've had phone conversations for hours. Actually, fall asleep on the phone together. We've seen each other. We have not been intimate at all until after we got married. And I can truthfully say that we were intimate. We got married October 27th. Marvin had a little bit too much drink, just the drink after the wedding. And we didn't become intimate until October 29th of this year. So, if I'm going to tell you the truth, I'm just going to tell you the truth. I have nothing to hide.
Okay. Okay. Someone had wrote in. This was last. I think it was a couple of days ago. So I have a question here because I already. So why are you seen wearing your wedding ring prior to this marriage in June?
Okay. This ring has significance. This ring I used to wholesale diamonds, and I had this ring made. And I can send you the receipt on my other wedding ring when I was married to my ex-husband. But this ring was custom made, and it's worth a lot of money. And I told Marvin, if you're going to marry me, it would have to be with this ring. We did get another band to go with the ring, but this ring is going to be on my ring finger until I die. I'll be buried with it.
So, I think I've got one. Well, this is not a question. It's actually going into what. So a lot of people think that are you attacking Amber personally? Someone says you're angry with Amber.
I'm not attacking Amber personally. I have always said from day one, and I've asked Marvin, hey, I said, listen, who is the person that is calm in their family that we could, talk to? Because this is not a situation for everybody to be bickering and fighting with each other. Let's get together and put notes together and see who we can gather up as suspects in this thing so we can bring them in, get them questioned, get answers for King. I don't have anything against Amber. I don't even know Amber in that capacity to have anything against her. The only thing I have against her is she put up a mugshot that has no value to it. And she basically put my life in jeopardy along with my government name out there. And like I said, due to the nature of my job, I have to protect myself as well as my child. That I'm a very active parent, very active. My daughter spends time with me or her dad. She does not go out of our eyesight. She doesn't stay with friends. She doesn't stay with babysitters. She stayed when she was younger, from 6 months because I had to go back to work until she was able to go to the daycare at 2 years old, which was like some type of mini pre-K. But she's always stayed with family. She's not, like his mom or his godmother who basically raised him while his mother had to work. Those are the only people my daughter has ever been with. So I have to protect my kids by all means. For instance, I was on a case and one of the people were released, okay, that don't know my government name. But you're putting my business of a mugshot that you don't know is true or false without getting receipt for, because I could have very well had sent her the receipt saying, hey, look, this was dismissed. I was dealing with a disgruntled situation at the time. And unfortunately, innocent people do go to jail. Unfortunately, regardless if you're a judge, you're a nun, you're a priest, a law enforcement, whoever you are, you go to jail for something you did not truly do. You have to prove yourself to be innocent. And I did that. And I sent you the receipt. So I don't have anything against Amber, but what her and Cody did by being malicious towards me, I now have to prosecute both of them for doing that. And I cannot give them a pass. I will not give them a pass. Because I would have felt better if they would have reached out to UST to say, ST, could you find out if this is accurate information or not before we go full-fledged with it? But no, they chose to do otherwise. So I have to protect myself. They're saying that they didn't have anything to do with it, and they didn't get it, all that stuff. They have to answer to the court of law who gave it to them. And if they're not truthful with that, then they'll be prosecuted for something that somebody else did.
Okay.
But I have to move forward with the prosecution.
Right.
And I will. And I don't want it to be a secret. I don't want this to be a surprise. They hit social media. She's filed charges against them. No, I'm giving you a heads up on what's about to take place. So no, I don't have anything against Amber or her family at all.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask some questions that's in the chat. There's been a couple of questions saying, okay, do you know where King is at?
No, I do not.
Okay. Someone saying, you being the new stepmother, you should have reached out to Amber. Do you think that would have been better?
No, because due to Amber's rant and how she, has people have sent me things from her live about she has a gun, she has a Glock, she killed, this, that, and then they sent me a message about, Marvin's fake wife, his fake marriage. I just don't feel like, I initially thought that I could probably co-parent with her because I don't want to not have Denver have her family ties. But when you're starting to do stuff like that, and my safety is a top priority concern, no, I will not reach out and communicate with her in no form or fashion.
Okay. Have you seen the video? Thank you. See, I like when we get a question in here instead of y'all just lashing out, because I'm not gonna read that. But have you seen the video of King on T Park's phone?
Have I seen? Yes, I have.
You seen the video that they're talking about on T Park's phone?
Which one? Because is it the one with her dancing and King?
No, I'm talking about the video that the police is talking about, the evidence that they have that's holding that why they're holding her.
Anybody knows that you cannot discuss anything about evidence that is already in custody with the public unless they decide to release that information.
Okay. 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 So Jennifer Cooley asked the question first. That's fine, as long as the question got asked. Okay. How do you know Dolly?
I only know Dolly from Marvin putting her on the telephone. Like I said, Marvin and I have spent many hours on the phone, and she would call in, and he would patch me in on the line. Say, Dolly's calling me again, and that's how I know Dolly. Besides another incident that I am not privy to mention, because it involves a criminal case, that I'm not privy to mention that she's a part of. But that's what I do know about her, as far as knowing her as a person.
Hot Cocoa with Extra Marshmallows is asking you, do you think King is alive or passed away?
I can think a lot of things, but without seeing all of the evidence in front of me, because that's a part of my job, knowing the rules for the courtroom, and the courtroom rule is evidence. So I can't even answer that question because I don't have, it's one thing I don't want to do is mislead anybody or say something false. Or I could believe that the moon is green right now, but is it a fact? So I would need facts to make a judgment call. Mm-hmm. But until he is recovered, whatever leads or information that's out there, we need to recover them all. So maybe we all can have clarity on what happened, or if he's alive, or he's passed away.
Okay. I want to thank everybody for coming in here. I'm going to ask them these questions. Zan Roland is asking, did you think it was all right for King to be left with tea parts for days and weeks, unbeknownst to the mom?
King was left with many babysitters for months and days when Marvin had to work, except he never stayed overnight, except for didn't he stay overnight at Dolly's house when you were there? He stayed overnight at Dolly's house with Marvin while King was there. And her daughter babysat King during the day from time to time for over a year. And I sent you, she said it, not me. She wrote the posting of, King was with Marvin for over a year, and Amber never met Dolly, nor has ever met any of these people that has watched King that I know of personally. And I don't want to start shooting names, but King, and I hate to say it like this, he's more like a community baby. Like everybody babysat King. And none of these people, and and I would feel good seeing if I could get them on your show. None of these people have ever met Amber. And the reason why it wasn't so easy for Marvin to drop King off is sometimes I would say, well, did you drop King off? And he's like, I went to the house and nobody answered the door.
Okay.
So I'm not sure,
so
that situation.
Yeah, we've got Susan. Thank you for the super chat, Susan. She asked, how can you move forward hurting Amber after interfering with the investigation in your federal arrest record?
I don't have a federal arrest record, so we can clear that up. And DHS will run my fingerprints, and when they run my fingerprints, they will also find there is nothing under as an arrest record besides everything that I disclosed to them, because as I stated, I sent SP proof of the dismissal of my charges. And also, I'm not hurting Amber. Like I said, I have to protect myself. I have to protect my child. I am a mother that spends a lot of time with my child. So if there's someone out there that knows my government name and I'm in a particular area, sometimes the bullet could be meant for me and hit my child instead. So So I have to protect myself at this point in time.
Okay. So I want to thank that person, Susanna. Thank you for the super chat. Let me see. There's a lot of questions coming through here. If you see anything in the chat, do you have your phone in front of you, Tommy?
Let's see.
You see any questions that you want to address? Because I've asked as many of them as I could. I've got my answers, and you might want to answer some of these questions as they come in. And please, would you direct it to the person that's asking the question so we can follow along?
Okay. So Regina, stop Tommy. What is about King, please? As I said before,
what was the question?
About King. She just asked me to stop. I mean, you're asking questions that people have. So Regina, these are questions that people have that they want to SP to ask me. So it's not questions that I'm just throwing out there with answers.
Okay.
So I needed to put that out there. So Jasmine Mickens asked, so why, when she was around King, why didn't she take him home? Due to the circumstance, as I said, Marvin could not show me any valid proof that he was the father of King, and I was not comfortable with that situation with a child staying in my home, and I'm not sure who's the father. I don't know the mother. So that's the answer to that question to Jennifer Coolidge.
Okay. Well, I was trying to see how that would work, but it actually didn't work too well because I didn't hear the question, and then it just didn't work well. They were asking a question. So I'll proceed and ask him whatever. I just felt like maybe I was asking questions that I felt I wanted out there, and we could have done it that way, but it just not working good.
Okay, there was a question that came from.
Okay, go ahead.
Would she want her kids around someone she didn't know? Being the active mother that I am in my child's life, my children's lives, absolutely. And my ex-husband knows that if I don't know the person, my kid can't go there because I'm an active parent. It's different when you're active. When you're active and you know, like every step of the way, if your child eats breakfast, what they eat lunch, what they eat, what time they go to bed, what they have for dinner, did they take a bath? That's an active parent. Not, and no offense to anyone, so don't take it wrong. Not just, is his hair done? Are you dropping him off now? No, that's not active. Active is you know every step of what's going on with your child at every given point in time.
Okay.
Okay, and then Brown Sugar asked her if she and Marv willing to take a lie detector test on the Steve Wilkos show. This is for Brown Sugar. Marv is not willing to take a lie detector test. He's taken one with Philadelphia PD, and they have cleared him. And I have no need to take a lie detector test because by me and the nature of my job, I'm sworn in to tell the truth. So that I don't need to take a lie detector test. Okay, and then this is for Alexa, living that life of KK Alexa. There has to be a reason why Dolly's doing all this too, and maybe she thought they were going to have a family together. Marv had told her that. In regards to that, I was privy to that conversation. Marv explained to her on the telephone with me on the phone that no, he was not going to marry her, and no, he was not going to be with her, and no, he was not going to live with her. When King went missing, this is something that I'm going to throw out there because I was privy to this conversation, so it's not hearsay. The fourth day of King being missing, Doc sent Marvin a list of her bills that she needed him to pay for her, and he declined to pay them, and that's when everything really just got sideways and went left and then with him saying no, he wasn't marrying her, and no, he wasn't moving in with her. This is how all of these fake profiles and the nonsense started showing up on Cody's Instagram about, I believe Marv had something to do with it, on his lives. And Cody questioned Marv, who was this person, because Cody said the person said they knew him very well. Later to find out that was a fake profile set up with Dolly. Okay. And Dolly is the one that also started spreading around this Pornhub with Amber. So let's be very clear on that.
Oh, really? Yes. Okay. I'm going to
and see, there's one other question really quick. Dominic Robinson, why did he get King from his mother if he knew he was too busy to take care of King for himself? Okay, the times that he would drop King off, he would want to drop him off, no answer at the door. Okay, he would take King back, he had to go back to work. Mm-hmm. So that's the answer to that question. And second of all, when Amber thought Marv had him. Well, that's a question that Amber needs to ask Microwave Frank, because according to Microwave Frank comment on your podcast, he says Tiana was taking King to see his mother. So that should be a question for Microwave Frank.
Something just happened to the whole chat. I'm going to ask one more question. I'm trying to remember what it is, because we've been on here for 135. I want to analyze everything that's been said. There's some questions out there. I've got some answers. We don't do that one. But Cheryl Ray, I think her name was Cheryl Ray, was in the chat. And she asked this question. She says, with you having a 16-year-old daughter, she says, I have asked over and over and over a question that you ignored. Cheryl Ray, I'm asking the question now. I don't even know you, and I'm finna ask your question, okay? Just be patient. Would you be comfortable leaving Marv with your 16-year-old daughter, knowing that he was with Amber, being 16? Something of that question went up 5 minutes ago.
Yes, I would be very comfortable, because my daughter is not the 16-year-old that has been ever in the field of drug use, and nor has she been in the lifestyle of a drug using family. That when you use drugs and you have drug addicts raising your children, things go wrong. So I would absolutely trust Marvin 1,000,000% around my 16-year-old. Absolutely.
Okay. That was a very interesting question. She said, oh, I was talking to the caller. That's her answer. Is there anything you want to, because somebody's calling me private. I don't answer private calls, you guys. I don't get into that. I'm not that important to even figure out who it is. I can imagine, but I'm not gonna waste my time. I don't answer private calls. Is there anything else that you need to share with us before we get off of here?
I would like to share that instead of people focusing on me, Tamiko Torres Reese, because that's my name now, and Marvin Reese, and concentrating on Amber Hill and Cody or Kimberly Hill, their mother, the grandmother of Denver. The focus really needs to be, and the topic needs to stick to P Park, her last whereabouts, that computer that Microwave Frank said had significance to possible significance to King. These are the things that really need to be focused on. And I would also like to say, this is why Because Marvin never wanted to come forward, in the public because he's a non-confrontational person. He never wanted to come forward. That's why out of all the news reporter stations, he decided to go with Kelly with Fox 29 because he knows that he deals with real news and not fake news. This is why he didn't want to come on SP News Nugget Show. But he said, and there were other people from different podcasts hitting him up. He said, but I'd rather go on SP Show because SP is focused on trying to get to the bottom of what happened to King Hill versus everybody trying to analyze what I say instead of narrowing down the facts of what could have possibly happened to King or where he could possibly be and where people should be actually looking if there is a body to be looked for. And people need to focus on December 2nd is another court date to Kiana Park. People need to focus on that date because guess what? That could be a date for another clue of what happened to King. Not about me posting my mugshot or talking trash about SP or making threats to SP or doing something SP that, for one, you're not even getting paid to cover this story. Okay? And you're doing more than the news reporters do that are getting paid. And your focus and your attention that you put into not only King Hill, but other children that are missing or have been missing and the final outcome for those children. That you have put your effort into among taking care of your family and your grandchild and you do have another job, you work for a living, your focus into stuff like this. I feel like these people that come on your show and have the audacity to create fake profiles, to create havoc, instead of sticking together at a time like this. So instead of, lashing out and saying, SP this, SP that, and calling you bad names, they need to be congratulating you for even getting it this far, getting it out there so other people can know that King Hill has still not been found. Because what people don't know is, once this story ends, the case dies off. Because why? Philadelphia got a lot of missing children. And King Hill is just another number added to the bunch. So our point should be to keep this case alive until we get the answers and we get to the truth. So there should be no more from this day going forward. No more focus on anybody else except for King Hill. If that is truly what you are here for. If you're not truly here for it, dismiss yourself from the show. Because there's a lot of havoc going on. And it shouldn't be people are upset because Marvin and I got married. We're married now. That's a fact. It's nothing but death is going to change that. Because we're going to stay married. We're going to stay active in this case to help find out what happened to King. With Amber, without Amber, without Cody, with Cody, with Kimberly, without Kimberly. Without Philadelphia PD, I will use whatever resources I can get my little paws on to help find out what happened. And whoever wants to be involved, be involved. But stop bashing you on the low. Now they'll take the scraps from the original SP Nugget News show, okay? And the scrap eaters, the crumb snatchers, will take it and run with it. And anybody else that has the audacity to post my mugshot, I will kindly file criminal charges against you as well. And you will have to answer for it too. Because I will not let anybody maliciously have that type of behavior towards me when I am here for a good cause, which is for Denver Hill and King Hill. I am their activist if nobody else is. So if you guys want to do something, Christmas time is coming up. This little girl is in the custody of her grandmother. Guess what? She needs things too. So if you want to make donations through SP, so SP can make arrangements for her to have a wonderful Christmas, because guess what? She's suffering throughout this too. She's missing her brother. She knew her brother. So if you want to do something, do that. Don't start with the fake propaganda against Marvin. Stop trying to criticize the people who are the only people that are helping. And SP, I commend you, and I truly appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And if there's anything that I could ever do for you or your show, donations for any missing kids or kids that are in the system that don't have a mother or father due to domestic violence, I'm willing to say I will get toys and send it through you, money, donations, whatever has to be done for those kids. Because people need to be more advocates for these babies that can't help themselves instead of lashing out towards adults. We don't got that much time on this earth. These kids are the next generation. So all I want to say is, people, get your minds right. Do it for Denver. Don't do it for Marvin. Don't do it for Amber. Don't do it for anybody else. Do it for Denver. Make her Christmas special. Christmas is not that far away. You have time now to gather your funds. It could be $5, $10. Make a donation towards Denver getting toys and having a fabulous Christmas. So she can take pictures and say thank you to those who looked out for her. So she's suffering right now. This little girl has been through a lot. And she's going through a lot still. Not because with her grandmother she's being mistreated, but she misses her brother as well. And that's what I have to say, SB.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So if there have any other questions down the road, because there did something come in that you know, I would like.
If there's any questions about me, my personal life going forward, because I sent you my anything going forward with me and my personal life, I would suggest that you do not post it on your show because I don't want to involve you in any type of criminal charges or prosecution because I never wanted to go that far with anybody.
Hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on. Hello, this is SP.
Hey, it's I have Dolly on the line.
Okay, hold on. Oh, somebody else is calling. Okay. There's people calling in. Wonder Woman is on the other line and she has Dolly on the other line. Are you inclined to that or no?
Wonder Woman is on the other line and she has Dolly on the
Okay.
other line. Are you
Okay. I was trying to ask you a question, but there's like 10 people calling at the one time. So I must have hung them up. I'm sorry. I know you probably didn't hear me. There was somebody on the other line and Dolly was on the other line. Are you okay to answer any questions from Dolly?
No, because I don't know Dolly besides being a woman that Marvin has slept with, so I don't know her.
Okay.
Personally, I've just been on three-way phone calls
Okay.
because Marvin wanted to make it very clear that he was not marrying her to me. So she wants to get on the show, cheers for her.
Okay.
But like I said, I had no privilege to tell her who I was in Marvin's life. And what I told her, like I said, when that came up, I knew who it came from. It came directly from her. So she doesn't know me. She's never even met me at all. Never in her I've never seen this woman face to face. So anything she has to say in regards to me, I don't even know her. I can only go by what my husband says and what I heard with my own ears as far as just an intimate situation. That's it.
Okay.
And her and I getting into a battle back and forth on text message because she had accused me of sleeping with Marvin and his brother, which I knew that she didn't know I wasn't truly with Marvin's brother. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you. Somebody is really calling, but I appreciate you coming on and definitely, I think this is like your third time or so, but we will get those receipts up if.
And hopefully the focus will be King Hill and not not if you want to come up and clear the name, but it should be about King Hill. That's King. I hate to see messy podcasts, and I've seen a lot of messy ones, and I just don't want your podcast to fall with trash.
Well, it kind of seemed like that's the way it's going because the focus is even off the baby. I mean, it's like, somebody was like, I look better than her. My body looks better than her. And when did y'all meet? And all this stuff. And I'm like, it's not even on the baby anymore. And I think, it might have to have.
And people have comments on their bodies, but they're beautiful in me. But at the end of the day, my last thing is Mrs.
Yes. Well, for some reason, these women are upset. I know they say, no, we're upset because what are you upset with? What are you upset with?
There's a question about a Tamiko Watson, and no, that is not me. And a record for Tamiko Watson, that is not me. I can send you proof of my birth certificate as being that is not me.
That's a good question. I see it in the chat.
Nope.
She said that is not her. So
not.
that answered the question that I had that somebody just sent. See, that's what I'm saying. I can never put something on before and then come back and then we trying to clear it up. But I'm gonna get
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and we have a good evening. Bye.
All right. You guys be good to each other. Bye, Marvin. Bye, Tommy.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, you guys. There was phone calls coming in, and I want that phone call from Dolly, so she has to call somebody else to call, and then I know exactly the number. So if you want to go ahead and call in. But you guys, it is getting late. It's almost 7:00. Joanna said I have a headache. You guys, y'all had a lot of questions. I asked y'all for y'all questions. Hey, this is SP.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. So you ready for me to put her on?
Yes.
All right, cool. Here we go.
I don't know what happened. The phone just hung up. Tasha Bridges said, SP, you getting frustrated. No, I gotta eat. I got a whole husband upstairs that done text me and say, it's past dinner time. So I've got 9 minutes, 8 minutes. I hope you guys taking all this information in because this is the conversation room. I'm not gonna be hollering. I'm not gonna be arguing. Somebody cussing or whatever. I'm done. I'm gonna just let you guys know right now. Okay, here we go. This is SP.
Okay, so let's try this again. I think my phone cut everybody off.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, this is SP.
This is Dolly.
How you doing, Dolly? The phone hangs up. We've got 7 minutes, and I'm getting off of here. No matter what, I got a husband, and I want to keep one. So we'll see. Something's going on with the phone. We're going to try it again. I'm letting y'all see my hands so you guys know I'm not doing this. This is SP.
Yes, it's T-Mobile, sweetie. It's T-Mobile. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, Dolly? Yes.
Hello?
Here y'all go.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes. What's going on, Dolly?
Okay, so I was hoping to
be able to talk to Tommy on the live since she likes to mention my name. And since I'm sure she has filled your head with many lies. You don't know me, I don't know you, but even what she was saying tonight about me is not true. So if you have a question, feel free to ask me. I'm an open book. I feel like I heard Tommy mention something about me having criminal charges. That's false.
You know, I don't really want to get into the back and forth things with, I don't know why you ladies are, I mean, I don't know why you guys are arguing because she married Marv and he's married to her. And I don't know why you guys have a problem. The problem,
I don't have
okay,
have a
so
problem. Obviously, she has a problem because she's mentioning my name on your live. And I know it must have been her to send you those pictures of me because those pictures are pictures that I sent Marv when I was in a relationship with him. Marv lived with me for a month, from March till April. There's plenty of people that know that. And I don't understand. Nothing she says makes sense. If they were in a 2-year relationship, so basically she married a man or she's with a man that she's okay with sleeping in her head with all the babysitters in the baby's life.
okay.
I
So
don't understand that.
so how long was you in a relationship with Marv?
I just said that for 1 month. I know him for 9 years. I knew him for 9 years. He lived in my house when he was having hard times for 1 month with the baby. The only thing she said it was true was that he would stay here with the baby. Yep, he lived here. I had all his stuff here. When I kicked him out, I had to take everything back. I had to do 2 trips. I did 1 trip, and then I had my friend do the second trip to drop him off stuff.
Okay. So
when she mentioned something about the bills, I don't remember him sending pictures of bills. I don't remember myself sending pictures of the bills, but it's a possibility because if you're my man and you live in my house, of course you're gonna pay half of my rent and half of my bills. Yes, I took care of the baby when he was here. My kids took care of King. I took care of King. We love King. Okay? Love him. Love him. Heartbroken. Okay. And yes, I didn't see him. We stopped talking in April. I dropped him off, and then I reached out in July after he was missing. I reached out to Marv. I saw Marv maybe for like the first 2 weeks, almost every day if I wasn't working. We talked a lot. Yes, when she mentioned that we would be on speakerphone a lot, that's true. Many times she would call him, and I'm right next to him, so we was on speakerphone. But she knew that I was in a relationship with him. Why are they lying about that? I don't care, because this is the thing. I don't care that they were together. Back in July, I noticed that she liked him. It's not a big deal.
Oh, in July? So when did y'all break up? In July?
April. We broke up in April. I said this already, SP. Please help me say, because there's a lot I want to say.
Okay.
SP, in April, we broke up.
Okay.
And then we didn't see each other. May, June, July. I was upset. We both was upset. I blocked him from Facebook. I blocked him from my number, petty stuff. In July, when I saw on the news that the baby was missing, my heart dropped. I was like, what? I got to reach out to Marv. So I reached out to Marv. I was supporting him. I was giving out flyers with him. I printed out flyers of the baby. I was printing out flyers. I went with him to follow leads. Like when he went to Levittown Walmart, I was with him that day.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of his. Like I was there. I was supporting him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand. I never had nothing against the lady Tommy. I could care less who Marv was. Yes, we messed around a couple times, and since she got my business, I'm usually a private person, but I got to talk about my business because she put me out there, right? When she showed the picture.
Well,
that picture was a private picture that I sent him when he was living with me. That's what you do when you have a man.
Well, we're not really worried about that. We're not really worried about that picture because we didn't get to see your boobs. But I mean,
she sent it to you, so you.
Well, I'm talking about the boob part. I mean, your boob part ain't out there. I mean, it's just your hair out there. But what about the tattoos that you have on your body of King?
I have 2 tattoos of King on my finger, and Marv knows because I sent him the picture when I got them done August 2nd, I believe. Everyone, everyone grieves different. Everyone's allowed to honor people different ways. I have 15 tattoos on my body. I think maybe it could be more. I have a lot of tattoos. Anyway, of course, I don't know Amber, so was I able to go to that memorial service? No. Of course, Tommy and Marv did their own little memorial service, which it was okay. I was working. I could care less, but I wasn't there. I probably wouldn't want to be there. I don't like stuff like that. My thing is, I wanted to honor King. I wanted to honor this baby that stood in my house for a month, a baby that I took care of, my kids took care of, a loving.
Do you have tattoos of your kid's name on your body?
Yes, and they're black. I have a lot of black tattoos because for some odd reason, color doesn't go on right. Because I heard you this morning on your live, you said I have a black heart. All my kids' names are black because color does not, for some reason, stay on me. I got a lot of black tattoos. Anyway, the finger, yes, I got King on my finger to honor a baby. On my wrist, I got his birthday, a K, and a heart. You know, when you see a deck of cards, how you see a letter K and then it has a heart? That's where I got that idea from.
Okay.
Anyway, if you're allowed to have a YouTube channel, and that's okay, or a show, whatever.
Right. You made that idea. You said you see a king of heart. That's what you do. But you know the color black. A black heart is not a good. I mean, I'm just saying. I know you can pick whatever color you want, but a black heart.
Do you have tattoos, actually?
Yeah, I do. But I'm just saying, black hearts. Just like sending somebody some black flowers after somebody died. That's not good. Or wearing black at somebody's wedding. That's not good. I was just saying, I mean, you can pick any color you want. If you wanted to put pink on it, I was just asking the question. I was just letting you. That's why sometimes people ask.
The black heart is the black heart in the case.
Because the black hearts on the card is actually red.
And there is also black too. But anyway, that's not the point. I wanted the heart.
No, the spades and the clubs are black, and the hearts and the diamonds are red.
Actually, you're losing focus. Anyway, the tattoo was to honor them.
Okay.
I don't know what you're trying to come at.
No, I was just letting you know. That's why we were asking the question, young lady. That's all we were.
And the tattoo that you got a picture of me with the dog, that tattoo was a cover up I did years ago. That one had nothing to do with the baby. Not that it matters. Anyway, let's go back to Amber. Never talked to Amber. Never seen Amber. And I definitely was not the one who spread. I heard Tommy say that I spread the Pornhub stuff around. I definitely was not that. Another thing we're going to talk about. I don't have fake accounts. I have the one on Facebook, and then I have the name that everyone knows because you said it on the show. I don't have a whole bunch of fake accounts. The reason why I asked this lady to call in for me, because when Tommy had my number, she was harassing me a lot. I had to change my number so that she could stop texting and calling me. I am very disappointed at Marv. I've never had anything bad to say about Marv, but I am extremely disappointed that he is letting that woman control him. This is not even Marv's character for him to talk bad about a female. Marv never talked bad about me to Amber or to Tiana. I mean, I've never heard anything bad about a woman. So obviously this woman has a kind of control of Marv, but it's a shame because I helped him in his time of need, and I helped his son. Something that his supposedly girlfriend or wife or lover, 2 years didn't do. Okay? So that's something, and even now, I remember when I was with him in March, I said, well, if this continues, I would want to meet Amber. And that was only a 1 month relationship. So I was already thinking about I wanted to meet this lady. I wanted to meet the mom. So anyway, let me think. Is there anything else I have to say to hurt my name? I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. So and you, I'm coming to you as a woman. When you're talking on your live, you're saying I have all these tattoos all over. Like I said, everyone could mourn to do a mural. Anyone could do a Facebook page of King, and they never even met the baby. You can talk about King and do all these lives whenever you want, but you never met King. You don't even live here in Philly. Me, this baby lived in my house with his father for 1 month. This is the baby I bought stuff to. This is the baby I was potty training, okay? So the fact that the baby, they said on the news, you know, the baby is not here no more, he's dead. I was devastated. Marvs, remember, because I was crying right next to him. I was heartbroken. This is a baby. I have a heart. Maybe some people don't have a big heart like me, but I do. So it doesn't matter if I have a tattoo.
Young lady,
it doesn't matter.
It's 441 people in this chat room. I believe 400 people haven't met King, and they don't have to have feelings for this child. So what is your point here? Just because you live in Philly doesn't mean.
My point is, if there's 5,000 people, that's my point. Thank you. You said it. If there's 5,000 people watching your views, and they
can I say something?
Mhm.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
All right. So listen. She's saying that she decided to put a tattoo on him. She knew Marv for 9 or 8 years. She met King. So she decided to put a tattoo on her darn finger. So what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to your people. Anybody that's typing. So what? And what? I don't know King. Never met King a day in my life. But you already see, I got caught up knocking on the door, didn't even know whose house it was. I could have got killed that night. We all doing.
They don't know that this is Philly Wonder
King.
Woman on the phone, you guys.
We are doing whatever we can in Philly to find King. Some of us think he's alive, and some of us don't think he's alive. But no matter what, we're trying to get together and find King. As far as the park, everybody's been in their park looking for King. So the problem we having right now is that we are all, there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us that's looking for King. We don't know where he is or none of that. But the focus everybody should be talking about right now is finding King.
Exactly.
I lost sleep, and now I'm losing sleep all over ever since the Steve Wilkos show.
Yes.
I tried to put it not behind me, but my husband was like, "Yo, you really doing too much. Like,
right.
I have a nervous breakdown."
Right.
So I stopped for a while, and now it's bothering me again because this little boy is missing, and nobody care. Everybody care about he say, she say, they say, you say, me say, I say. Listen, guys, we need everybody to look for King. Period. That's it. Yes. King. We looking for King Hill. Nobody else. King. This little boy, the first day he was missing, which was on the 7th, on the 8th is when I started looking for King. As soon as they put it out, I started looking for King. I started contacting different people. Have y'all seen this little boy? I drove around in the city showing pictures. People didn't even know he was missing. But I started going around all these neighborhoods showing his picture. Me, I did that. And then somebody asked the question. They said they thought Marv would with me. No, I called Marv and I said, I will go with you to Levittown. He said, my car is messed up. Is making this noise. So I went on my own. And I also called up there. Okay? Mm-hmm. So she went with him the first time, as she said she did. I don't know nothing about that. I didn't know nothing about that until yesterday. I went up there myself. I went up there myself. Because guess what? There was a lead. So with that being said, and I saw that picture, and I was pissed off at that picture. Why? Because they had the surveillance cameras. You would think they would show different angles, right? Right. That was only one angle. So, I want to be on my own to research it. That's all I have to say. I'm just upset.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I am too. No, I'm upset too because I don't want to. I mean, once we asked the question, like, why? I mean, whatever her answer is, that's what it is. Don't have to get upset about.
But SP, it's not even about her. It's not even about her. It's about Marv.
No, I'm talking. I'm saying when we were trying to figure out why this young lady have. Like I said, I somebody can tell me something, but I wanted to ask her myself, why do you have these tattoos and what does it mean? I wanted to hear it from her. And then I've heard it. But then, people's like, I can do what I want. I didn't say you couldn't, but it was strange to me. Wouldn't it be strange to anybody that's saying, hey, you got another woman's child on? I just wanted to ask her the question. She can say all day long, it's not strange to me. Okay, it's not strange to you, but it is strange to me. I'm just saying, and that did the reason why it's important because we're looking at any and everybody as a suspect. So is there some obsession there? Is there some anger there? Why do you have this
No.
child over there? So I wanted to ask her that question.
Because I love the child.
So why don't you ask you this important question? It's an important question. Did you know that was Marv's stepson, or did you think that was Marv's son?
I thought that was Marv's real son. I still think that's Marv's biological son. I've never.
So with that being said, because she was in a relationship with the guy of the baby that was missing, she put the tattoo on her body, her finger.
Well,
and it wasn't. It's not a secret. If I wanted it to be a secret, it could be somewhere no one knows.
Well,
I talk about the baby all the time.
Did you have you talked to Amber?
No, I've never talked to Amber. I was actually thinking maybe one day reaching to her, but if I do reach her, it's going to be on the phone with somebody else, like maybe who's on the phone now. I've never reached out to her. I've never talked bad about Amber. I heard her when she called you and she cried, and I felt bad for her. She's a mom. That was her baby. She gave birth to Keenan. So I know she's hurting, and I really, if Amber's listening to this, my heart falls out for you. I hope I get to meet you one day in person. I don't have any beef with you. I think that we should link up and talk because, I've done a month with your baby, and maybe we could share some stories. I could, I don't know, comfort her maybe. I would think she would need a friend, so I hope she has someone. I know she had people around her loving on her, but times, I think it's horrible for anyone to think they're going to press charges on Amber. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway,
Well,
can we go back, SC? Can we go back to the live that you did this morning? And you mentioned something about, basically, it seemed like you was trying to say that I might have been the one that called TP. Is that what you were trying to say?
They called what?
And on your live this morning, you were talking about me. I was your topic. I don't know why.
What is the question, young lady?
I asked the question. I said this morning.
My husband is upstairs. I'm not going to, if I asked you what was the question, you're acting like you're trying to have some aggressiveness with me. I don't have time for it. So what I'm saying is, what is your question? You were part of the topic this morning. So what is the question? Because I do have a whole husband upstairs that we've got to eat. I'm not trying to be rude to you. I'm not trying to be mean, but these conversations right here, I don't really get into because they're meaningless.
They are meaningless.
So what is the question? Did I offend you some kind of way? What was the question?
Of course you did.
What was the question? What was the question?
I said this morning when you did your live, you were saying that I had something to do with this case, that I might have been the one that was calling TP. No, wrong. So I don't know why you would say that. Also,
calling TP. No, you're right. This is what I said. And I'll say it again because I said it there and it is live and it's recorded. You can go back and listen to it. Everybody's a suspect. If you had any dealings with this child, you was loving on this child, you got tattoos on you and we don't know why, or nobody don't know why. The mama you didn't even ask the mama to put on it. Everybody's a suspect. So yes. So I didn't say that you had to. I didn't say you had to. So for me to think, well, you know what? This lady's got tattoos of this baby. I wonder, did she ask the mama? I mean, why would she do that? Is she in love? I mean, that is not weird of a thinking. That's just common sense to say, could have done something? Might be some obsession? So is that why you're wrong? Because is that why you're mad? Because
it sounds like Tommy Torres is lying on me and talking to you, just like you said you spent 3 hours on the phone with her. It sounds like she told you a lot of lies and you wasn't.
You know what? Before I let anyone come on this channel, I have to spend time with them and check things out before I come on here and see what they're talking about. It's not just they're feeding me. We're actually getting off the phone. I'm going to go do some research, reaching out to people like I have tried to reach out to you. And the only way I can get your attention is to do something a little bit more drastic than what I normally would do. But I needed to try to get your attention so I can ask you these questions personally.
You can ask me, and I'm asking you questions.
And I did, but we've already in 2 hours and 13 minutes, and I do have to get off of here.
And also, one more thing, if I was a suspect, don't you think I would have got arrested back in July when all this happened?
Well, what I'm saying, I didn't accuse you. No, listen. I didn't accuse you. I did not accuse you. I said everybody's a suspect when there's a child missing or a homicide. That's what I said.
You did not say that.
Okay. Well, go back and look at it. I know what I said. You guys, I gotta go. My husband's upstairs and we finna eat. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. What we gonna do?
Nora's Closet has a new name and a new website, you guys. It's called Nora's Authentic Designer Handbags. And this is the grand opening. It is open to the public. And we're going to take a look at it before anybody else do. Nora has the Jimmy Choo collection. Handbags and shoes to match. Expensive but worth the price. Shoulder Guess handbag and Louis Vuitton. Guys, she's the queen of handbags. Don't be fooled. And sexy is still in. High heels, sandals, flats, and pumps. Michael Kors, Chanel, every name brand you can think of. Go over to Nora's Authentic Designer Handbags and more and use your W4C and get your discount. Nora's link is down below.
All righty.